I just want to come on and say I think the Tigers should be sellers, and I think they should be selling Tarek Skubal.
And why is that?
I think they can get a lot for him, a lot of depth. And I think at this point we're in a perpetual rebuild. We're not going anywhere. We're stuck at 500 every year, it seems. And we're not going to get any better just letting this one guy be our ace and having a bunch of subpar players behind him. I just don't think that's going to work for us in the long run.
Well, I mean, I would debate that they are stuck at 500 every year. This is the first season that they would be 500 or over in 7 years. And if you look at their winning percentages over the last 5 years, they've gone from 292 to 397 to 475 to 407, and now they're flirting with 500. This would be their best record since 2016 when they were at 534 in terms of winning percentage, which meant 86 wins. So it's been these slow steps forward, Derek, I guess. And I understand what you said is absolutely true. They would get a lot for them. But is his timeline for the rest of his career lining up with a possible timeline for the Tigers to field a far more competitive team? I would argue yes.
Well,
okay.
I disagree.
So you don't think they could possibly win in the next 5 years?
They can't hit the ball.
I know. You don't think they could possibly hit the ball in the next 5 years?
With who?
I mean, players they acquire via free agency with Jace Young, with Max Clark, with Justice Bigbie, with a new and improved Torque. What's that?
Max Clark's at least 6 years out. Okay. He's a long-term guy.
Right, 6 years out.
Well, maybe he is. Maybe he is. Take him out. Sign a free agent. Trade for somebody.
With Tarek Skubal.
Okay. I mean, if you don't think they can hit for the next 5 years, then we have a fundamental disagreement. I don't think they're stuck being a poor hitting team for the next 5 years.
I mean, there's a school of thought to trade Skubal because you would get
you could get
somebody
ransom.
right away, right? You would think get a king's ransom, but is a king's ransom only in the form of prospects? Or is it in the form of guys that you can plug and play right now?
It's hard to find that match. It's not impossible, right? Somebody else's high AA prospect or AAA prospect might be able to play for you right away, right? It could be blocked.
But again, they're prospects. So if you're looking for like a trade, 1-for-1 trade, or trade Skubal, you get one stud and one prospect, because pitching is king if you've got it. I mean, if you can find it, you have to entertain it, but it's not likely to happen because the teams that would be trading for Tarek Skubal are teams that are in it, likely. And are they going to give up a big piece? I mean, can you go to Houston and say, Houston, how about Tarek Skubal for Kyle Tucker? Are they going to do that?
Houston might become a seller, and Tucker would be a name they'd be looking to sell.
And for a guy with control, maybe that does work. But
he doesn't think Clark can get here till 2030.
Well, that's ridiculous. I mean, saying a guy who's already and ready to be promoted to high A ball, not just staying at Lakeland.
He's either not going to make it in 6 years, or he'll have been here for a few years.
Yeah. I would imagine that his ETA is probably 2026, 2027, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how fast he rises, but he's done great so far at the at low A ball, and he and McGonigal both, and they'll be promoted at some point to Double A.
You know how I like to say when you get in a losing streak or you do something, you feel like when you're losing, you feel like you're never going to win again.
Right?
They're not hitting, and my man feels like they're never going to hit again.
And I understand that because his question's valid. Well, who's hitting? I got it. I'm with you. You know, you're
it's
counting
not like we're
on,
about to look at the stat sheet and go, "Oh my God, he's right."
No, but what you're counting on is that Riley Green's a player. What you're counting on is that Colt Keith is a player. Now, have you written off Torque already? I'm sure a lot of people already have written off Torque. I wouldn't write him off just yet. I'm kind of counting on him to be a guy. I'm counting on Jace Young to be a guy. I don't know about Malloy yet. I like what I've seen from Malloy. Is he going to be an everyday guy? And, we're here. This is what this year is about. It's finding out if you've got more than just promise. That's why this is going to be a tough year.
They got work to do. There's no doubt about it.